It's a nice shirt, man.
Oh, yeah, it's Victory Monday.
Mine is better, though.
It definitely is a very, very attractive shirt. I love it. I will definitely be rocking mine
Figured you would.
on our Friday episode. But I'm wearing this every time we win. This is my way of just, for the people that tune in on YouTube and can actually see us.
Yeah.
This is like my middle finger for people that don't like the Broncos. This is what I'm going to do every time we win a game. I'm not even going.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm definitely rocking that.
I'm just saying, I'm styling and profiling.
Oh, you killing it.
I'm ready for Fashion Week.
We killing it. We going?
Yeah.
Fuck it. Let's fuck it up. Fuck it
All
up.
right, what up, people? It's the Next Man Up Sports Podcast. New surroundings today.
Yeah.
The banner is in the shop.
We had to do
the banner. The banner's in the shop.
A temporary relocation.
But the banner will be back next episode.
Yes. We have
In the meantime, just, stare at my shirt. Next Man Up.
But we on location, man. We move around. We're going to be shooting at different places. Don't get comfortable. We don't just have one studio. We're going to be doing live interviews and shit, too.
Yeah.
So.
What are we up to? This is episode 8.
9. 8. Definitely 8. Definitely
number 8.
I was thinking about number 9 because that's on Friday. That's exactly a month from when we started. So it's like been on my mind all day. So yeah, we're on 8 though.
All right, but big weekend, lots of good action.
Oh my god, it's like another good one.
There's been a lot of good games, and over the first 2 weeks, like both Thursday night games, down to the wire. A lot of games went down to the wire yesterday. The Monday night game is kind of as expected. It was close for a minute, but then finished off as expected.
Yeah.
It was 35-17.
Yeah.
So, they let them hang around a little bit.
But I dead ass, it's going to make me sound so terrible. I forgot that the Packers played the Lions last night for a second. Like I legit forgot because that was such a useless game. That I remember we were both like bitching about it, like who the fuck scheduled this for Monday Night Football in the first place?
Yeah.
So like I was watching the game and keeping updates, but I completely forgot just now that there was even a game yesterday.
Yeah. I'm definitely noticing that it looks like early in the season that some of our elder statesmen quarterbacks are getting preferential treatment from the schedule. It's like
they're getting helped out.
Let's. Hey, Aaron Rodgers, let's give you the Saints without Drew Brees. Granted, they tricked that game off, but then let's follow that up with the Lions at home on Monday night. Hey, Tom Brady, you're going to play the Cowboys, who always find a way to trick off games. And we'll follow that up with the Falcons at home.
He went ham on the Falcons.
Did you? I actually got questions for you about that, but let's get into it. We're going to kick it off with Raiders and Steelers.
No, we're not.
Raiders and
Steelers. Because
Steelers.
we have to kick it off first with the Next Man Up of the Week award.
You are correct.
I want to hear yours.
My Next Man Up of the Week, I was kind of back and forth between two people, but I think I'm going to settle on Sam Darnold, the quarterback of my playoff Panthers.
I'm already fucking sick of that. I'm already tired.
Hey, just like you,
and then it's bullshit because the Panthers have the Texans on Thursday. It's like, come on.
3-0, baby.
Yeah. So God damn it.
Like, come on. I don't see these things without I look down the road.
So I
saw it coming.
Your guy is Sam Darnold for this week.
Absolutely. Again, he's definitely showing that a change of scenery.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a change of talent because he never had the type of talent that he has now while he was with the Jets, and a coach that actually believes in you, wants you to succeed, can make all the difference in a career. I mean, he's not playing at an elite level, but he's playing good quarterback. And in watching that game, I actually saw some things like his first touchdown pass where he looked the safety down and then went behind him. Like he's actually playing really good quarterback. Like making decisions, he's going through progressions. Of course, it helps when you have a dynamic player like CMC behind you, but he's just playing smart football. He may never reach that level that people had him coming into the draft. He was kind of tabbed as not really the next Andrew Luck, but of the quarterbacks in that class, he was the can't miss. And, he looks like he may pan out and have a solid career.
Well, so far so good on your call for him. Out the gate, he's looked good. Yeah, he looked real good.
I said not elite, but he's playing good quarterback.
Yeah. So First things first, man. I mean, since we in a new location for to be determined. This whole new chair, man, it's like trying to adjust and find like that sweet spot. And I feel like because the chair makes me want to just pull a Dirk, and I might fuck around and do that. Just fucking be here the whole time. Just what's good.
Mean, hey, do what feels right to you.
Because I don't feel like leaning up and back and forth. So I might just pull a Dirk for like until this bitch gets too heavy to hold.
I would say that might get heavy. So
all right, my next man up of the week award.
Cast iron.
Oh yeah. It's heavy, man. It's already heavy. I'm already shifting in. All right, fuck it. My next man of the week, I had to go with Derrick Henry. Okay. I know it seems like an obvious pick, but it was, that he looked a little, he was contained in week 1.
Right.
And to see how he came out in that second half, he had like 147 yards in the second half. Like,
right.
3 touchdowns late to win them that game that nobody thought they were going to win in Seattle against that defense.
A heck of a comeback.
Along with, 6 catches for 55 yards. That's the most receptions he's ever had in the NFL. So I'm like, somebody figured it out over in Tennessee. Is just let Henry eat. Just give him the ball and good things happen. Let him eat. He's a big boy. He needs to eat.
Our bet was a draw, by the way. I don't think he and Jamal Adams actually they didn't really get into a one-on-one.
Yeah. It's disappointing. It's very disappointing.
Hey, we still got Aaron Donald.
Oh, yeah, he still does have Aaron Donald. He has to go through. That's still the matchup that we're looking forward to. All right, so that's my next man up of the week. Again, I was like you, I was torn between 2 guys, but I just felt like his impact on the Titans game was so huge. Obviously, we can get into that when we cover that in a moment, but he's my pick for the week.
All right.
So we had the Raiders and the Steelers.
The Raiders.
We got to start this one off early with the Raiders. Usually it comes a bit later in the show. And I usually prefer that because I know my Raiders fans have to kind of sit here and just wait their turn. But now we got to get it out the way up front. And I gotta do it, man. Got to give a shout out. I got to give respect where respect is due. So my guy Jimmy, he hit me up after they won. He's like, "You're going to put some respect in my team's name." I'll never say nothing positive, but I'm gonna shut the fuck up on negative things about the Raiders for now.
Okay,
so
I'll say negative
because
things about the Raiders.
they have already in back-to-back weeks thrown me a giant FU. So I'm gonna shut up. We're 2-0. They're 2-0. We'll just let it play from there. But what are your takeaways from the Raiders Steelers game, which they took them down 26-17?
My takeaways from the Raiders game is that the Pittsburgh Steelers are who I thought they were.
Me too.
They're a playoff French team, but then the Raiders can be a playoff French team. So it's like they're all in the same bubble. And as far as preseason, I had teams like Steelers, Dolphins, Colts, Broncos, Raiders, all in like the same bubble. So it's like for them to beat up on each other, I'm not like it doesn't do anything for me. Raiders fans can rejoice, but let's get down the line to when you play Kansas City. Let's look down the line when you play the Ravens, or they play the Ravens, the Browns. Let's, when you play some of these teams that are like one tick maybe above. And then of course everybody knows the best time to steal games for those teams who are kind of like middling. It's early in the season, late in the season. So I want to, before I determine anything, good or bad on the Raiders, I want to see that middle of the schedule. Come see me at like week 10, and let's see where you're at. But right now, they're playing decent football. I don't say good football. They're playing decent football. Like even if you go back to the Raiders game, that was a terrible pass Derek Carr threw to win the game. It's fading away off his back foot and just kind of lofted it up to the guy was wide open. The coverage was broken. It wasn't like stood in the pocket, it was the Ravens messed up, you capitalize. Going to the Steelers game, kind of the same thing. Steelers made a lot of more mental errors than they usually make on defense, and the Raiders capitalized. Now, I'll give them credit for capitalizing because that's what you need to do to win those type of games. So I give them that. But I'll shout out Henry Ruggs, though. Henry Ruggs showed up.
Oh, yeah.
In a huge game. 5 for 113, Chubb. I'll take that from the fastest dude on the team. Yeah. But it's going to take those guys, and they did it without Josh Jacobs.
Right.
So that I'll give them a little more credit normal than that. But they definitely need players outside of Darren Waller to step up, and we'll see if they can continue to do that.
Well, I ain't gonna say nothing positive or negative about the Raiders. As I said at the beginning of this, that's the best I can do for my guy Jimmy. That's the best I can do.
He says the best.
I'm not, because I can't stomach saying something positive about him, but I gotta hold my tongue. But I can shit on the Steelers because they're exactly, as you said, they're exactly what I thought they were. Yeah. Like they're not gonna be a good team. They have so many holes that they need to fix. They're lacking talent in so many key areas, and I'm like, you're getting your ass handed to you at home by the Raiders. Like, and again, that's not a positive or negative on the Raiders. I'm just saying,
aspects of the game. If you look at it, like obviously the game is competitive. It wasn't blue. It could have went either way. There were just a couple of things that the Raiders did better.
Yeah, I don't have any confidence in the Steelers. Again, they're going to be one of those teams that, as we talked about, numerous times, they're going to win enough games to be, as you said, like in the playoff conversation. But I don't think that they're a good enough team to make the playoffs this year or to even advance if they did. I just don't see it.
They ain't winning a game.
Yeah, I don't see it. Moving on to two other teams that are not going to make the playoffs. Actually,
one has a better chance than the other.
One might. My dark horse team, the San Francisco 49ers, going up against the Eagles, getting the dub on the road, 17-11. What's your biggest takeaway from that game, man? I mean, Jimmy G is still not really doing much of shit.
Right, and it goes to say what we were talking about for week one. My biggest takeaway from this game is now we see what happens when the 49ers play a team. Mm-hmm. Remember, they had the bye week in week one.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, they played the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
And my thoughts after the week one was like, let's see when they play somebody.
Right.
Because this is just a bye week. And they played somebody, and you see they almost came up with that L. Somehow, Philly just tricked off the game. It was a very winnable game. Jimmy G didn't do anything super impressive. He was super accurate, 22 of 30, but under 200 yards.
Yeah.
The Raheem Mostert was out, so you're running like they couldn't run the ball like they normally would like to do. The Eagles defense is much tougher than I thought it would be this season.
I thought it was such an ugly game. Like I was watching it, and it was so ugly.
Yeah.
I wasn't confident in the way that the Niners looked.
No,
the Eagles are another team that I don't have any expectations for this year.
Yeah, but they're in the NFC East. That's their leg up on everybody.
Right. Like even at 1-1, you're still thoroughly in the playoff race. So it's like, I don't know. Like I still am waiting to see what the Niners are going to be all about. As far as like their offense, because again, as we talked about, their defense is going to be good.
Yeah.
If
look
they
at
stay
it, they got
healthy.
outgained yardage wise in the game, the 49ers.
Yeah.
And they gave up 6 yards of play.
Yeah.
Like, while only gaining 4.5 yards of play.
Yeah.
Themselves.
That's not good at all. And that's where I'm like, I need to see more from the Niners. I think that they had 2 easy games up front, but you don't complain about getting wins. Wins, especially in the NFL, getting wins is tough. So they're not going to give a shit who they're beating, so long as they win in the games.
They solidified to me that they are the 4th best team in their division. That's what I take away. That's what I take away from this game.
Out of 4 teams. All right. So on a game that actually had me very concerned for a significant portion of the game, I was watching it with my eyes big and wide and like, this is not going to happen. And it was the Texans and Browns. Mm-hmm. That game, to me, was so much closer than it had any fucking business being. Yeah. And I need to hear from a Browns fan how you felt watching that game against the Texans. Because y'all were losing at numerous points. Like,
I mean, by like 1 score.
Yeah, but still, though.
Like, it was 7-0 and 14-7. That was it.
But still, though.
No, it was not. But like, at no point was I concerned that we were going to lose the game.
Okay.
Like, it was, we're like Robitussin. Just keep on, like, as long as we got them 2 boys in the backfield, like, I'm not, and the game is in range, I'm not worried. And you see in the second half, basically that's what it was. It's just like we talked about last week when we were talking about the Cowboys versus the Buccaneers. And we're talking about Zeke, and it's like you have this running back. And I was telling you, when people talk about our running game, like the difference between us and those teams, we don't stop. We don't care what the score is. We're going to keep running. And that's exactly what happened in this game. You watch the game, we just kept running. And in the second half, we warmed down and took over the game. Like, that's our game plan every week, and it doesn't change. The one thing I was glad to see was our young rookie, Demetric Felton. I told you about him in the preseason.
Mm-hmm.
That dude might be a player. Like Kareem Hunt may be expendable. I'm not kidding. Like because Kareem Hunt has like 2 years on his deal.
Mm-hmm.
If we can save some pennies and pick up some quality on defense, he makes Kareem Hunt expendable in the future. So, but
on the other side of the ball, we got the Texans.
Yeah, the Texans. Tyrod Taylor was
out.
Man, and
he was
free
going.
play. Yeah,
he
free
was,
play. Just
he
pulled
was going
hamstring.
off.
Yeah, he was
going off. But he's now questionable for their next game.
Right.
They've openly stated that they will not activate.
Correct.
The other dude. I'm not gonna say it. The other dude.
So they're going
so
with
do
the
you
rookie
think
Davis Mills.
Yeah, like for a team that already didn't have high expectations for this year, for a team that's already lost so many players in the offseason, that had so much controversy going into their season, and still shrouded in controversy, you get that week 1 win, which feels like a huge boost to your morale,
right?
Boost to your momentum. Like, oh, okay, we can get one.
Absolutely.
And it was like in dominant fashion, so it was like it wasn't even just eked out a win. And then now it's like you lost your quarterback.
Yeah, just again,
like,
the franchise
you're already up against so many odds to have any kind of success.
Right.
Your quarterback is like on a mission to prove to people, as he did a week ago. He's like, yo, I'm not washed up. Fuck y'all.
Right.
This game, again, he comes out 10 for 11, 125, touchdown, and then out.
Yep.
And it's like, what?
It's like this thing. Like, if Tyrod would have finished the game, I think they still lose, but it was competitive. It would have been a little bit more competitive.
I think,
but the franchise just.
I just think it proves my point. It proves my point from the power rankings. Just fucking dissolve the franchise.
Nah,
I'm so over it.
All that.
I'm so over it.
The owner sell the team, but it's quickly going to turn into a situation where, again, guys came out firing, like our backs against the wall. Everything is against us, and you get the W. You come out, you play tough this week, but now you're probably going to go 4, 5, 6 games with a rookie QB. This could quickly turn into that situation where in 2 weeks, now we're thinking about what draft position can we get, and guys start to kind of just pack it in, and they're playing for playing for bonuses and playing. So it's really, I was actually kind of, after last week's win, I was excited to see, like, again, when the team goes through something, we forget to separate the 53 in the locker room from all the noise. I was excited to see, like, what they would do. Could they make a run at a 7 spot? Could they really be a surprise team? But I think all that's out of the window now.
Okay. Well, again, I don't really have much else to say on the Texans. I just think it's going to be a bad season for them, and they just keep losing.
Definitely now.
One thing after another. So, on to the next matchup. It's my Denver Broncos beating the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Bye week.
Yeah. We have like 3 of them in a row. That's what I was saying before. I'm like, I don't know it. I'm not, again, a dub is a dub is a dub.
The first half was more competitive than the second. I mean, you guys just kind of, eventually talent wins out. And
for us, even in watching the game, our defense in that first half was not doing what they needed to. I'd really more say that the first drive for the Jaguars. Like, they came out and punched us in the mouth.
Right.
And then they got nothing the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Like, literally, this is what I hate. Both of the last 2 weeks, we've given up exactly 13 points, and it's on bullshit. Like, we should have won both of our games, like 27-7 and 23-7. Because obviously last week, he wants to fucking run in a touchdown with literally no time left on the clock in a game that's 27-7. Right. So lopsided that, like, what are you doing? Just take a knee, jackass. But playing for bonuses, probably. I'm going to get this touchdown now. I'm going to need that
absolutely
at the end of the year. And then this week, it was like, again, it was 23-7. The game was over. We had just gone up, kickoff, and this fucking dude returns it to the house. End of the game, again, same thing. Like, it had no impact on the game. Like, it wasn't going to change the score at all.
Hey, bonus.
Or, the outcome. It wasn't going to change the outcome.
Right.
But it was just like, both weeks. I'm like, we should be holding teams to 7 points. And we've given up 2 bogus
these particular.
plays.
I'll say these particular. Because again, I will tell you, and this, again, you say I'm not hating on the Broncos. I'm just giving you two things concerning me.
Go ahead.
Penalties.
Oh, yeah. That was crazy. We had 100 yards in penalties. That was terrible. That was terrible.
And third down percentage.
Yeah.
I think you guys converted, 2 of 11 on third down?
I don't give a fuck about third down. We go on fourth down.
Okay, even if you count those in.
We have
4 for 13. That's still not.
We have a kicker. We don't have a punter, people. We have a kicker. If we ain't in field goal range, we going for it. Fuck you.
But like, these are things when you guys start facing again the teams that are a tick above. Like, y'all definitely gonna have to clean that up.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Again, why I was so confident. I'm like, and I was telling you this at the beginning. I'm like, we could easily come out 4-2 because we can start 3-0. We basically have preseason, but these count. We got the Giants, the Jags, and then next week we have at home. Who the fuck is it?
Jets.
The Jets. Goddamn, I was thinking Zach Wilson.
Yeah, but that's your dark horse team.
They've just been dark. They've just sucked. That's a limp.
Zach Wilson's gonna have a game against. Watch.
I hope not. That's gonna be fucking irony, and I'm gonna be so hot because I was propping this dude up all off season, and then he's had 2 of like the worst rookie quarterback games I've seen. And if he decides to come alive like I think he can against us, I'm going to be fucking mad. I'm going to be so mad. But no, it's like realistically, again, we have an easy opportunity to go 3-0. And then our next game would be our first real test. Mm-hmm. And that's against the Baltimore Ravens. So it's like.
Yeah, y'all hit a rough patch after that.
Yeah.
Isn't it like Baltimore?
We got Baltimore. I don't remember who the team is.
I think you're through the whole division.
Yeah, we got you guys.
Baltimore, us, and then Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh.
I think it's something like that. So, no. We get you guys week 7.
Okay.
We get you, but same thing. It's all lumped in.
Yeah.
That's what I was telling you before. Is I'm like, we have some really easy winnable games, which we're doing our job on taking care of. Then cool. If we lose these 4 or 5 games that are just like packed all together, fuck it, we can still finish 12-5 and make the playoffs. All that aside, said I wasn't going to talk too much about it. Just want to highlight one final thing, and that's Teddy Bridge. Teddy motherfucking Bridge. I wanted to pick him as my man of the week, but I felt like that would automatically be assumed as biased. This dude has gone back-to-back weeks where he's only incompleted 8 passes and went even better than last week. He was 269. He went this week 328. 328, 2 touchdowns. Again, it's a management thing. Just game management, just taking care of the ball, letting our defense do what it needs to do, and just making sure the game doesn't get out of control. As I was saying, he's doing exactly what I hope that he'll do. He keeps that shit up. We're going to be solid. On to the next one. On to your playoff Panthers at home, beating the shit out the Saints. Jameis Winston went back to looking like who the fuck we all know he is, and not that, nonsense outlier of a game last week. So
I'm still gonna wait to get on them. I'm gonna reserve my comments for Jameis.
I'm not. He's trash.
I know.
I'm not. Last week was a fluke in one category. 5 touchdowns, 148 yards. He passed the ball 148 yards. If you didn't have him 5 touchdowns, people would have thought you got benched. Like, get the fuck no, you're trash, dude. Shut up. Like, Jameis Winston's gonna go back to being Jameis Winston. Like, he had one good game.
The playoff Panthers, though.
The playoff Panthers, man. I mean, what can you say? As you said, Sam Darnold he's been looking fantastic. I think he's near the top of the league when it comes to quarterback rating.
Yeah, they throw a pick though.
Yeah, but I mean, fuck it. I mean, who cares? It's one pick. Now I said it only because it's like Tom Brady technically threw 2 picks this season to his 9 touchdowns, but it was on a Hail Mary and then on a deflected. So I'm like, okay, he has 1. But again, I'm liking his production.
Yeah. And then, of course, it doesn't hurt to have a guy like Christian McCaffrey behind you. Once again, he had close to 130 total combined yards. And Sam threw for over 302 touchdowns. DJ Moore had a heck of a game. He had 8 catches and a touchdown. But the thing that surprised me about them is I kind of figured the offense would kind of be steady, especially if they kind of play through CMC.
Mm-hmm.
But the defense has been surprising me. Like, their defense is definitely stepping up. Had the Saints looking like the Broncos on third down. 2 for 11.
Yeah.
While converting over 50% themselves. But and next week, it just gets better.
Well, Thursday Night Football, yeah, they get to go beat up on them Texans.
Yeah,
in like
with
3 days.
Yeah, backup rookie QB.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just, and again, and that's what I'm saying. Like, now the Panthers can jump out 3-0 in a division that, you know, it's a one horse.
They're not gonna win.
No, I'm not saying that, but it's like, if you can finish second in that division,
yeah, and
you
again,
know, you'll definitely finish above whoever the fuck is coming out of the NFC East.
right.
So it's like,
Yeah.
you could like the Panthers could finish second in the NFC South, and I guarantee they'll probably have a better record than the winner of the NFC East.
It's possible.
So you'll be able to get into the playoffs. I can see it. I'm gonna be mad if it happens because you called it. But
it's like I was saying, like, look at the teams you're competing against. You competed against the 49ers, who are now 1-1. The Seahawks, who tricked off a game that they should have won, could come back to bite them. So now you're ahead of teams like that. You're ahead of the Vikings. You're ahead of the Bears. Like, you pretty much control the way your season goes from here on out.
Niners are 2-0.
Hmm?
Niners are 2-0.
Yeah.
But so yeah,
So even with them, but
yeah, you're putting yourself in a position to be competitive.
Right.
You start off any season 2-0. I think your odds of making the playoffs jump to like 65-70%.
There you go.
It's whereas like if you start off was it 0-2?
0-2,
you have like
your death sentence.
you have like a 20% chance. As every Giants fan knows, for the last who knows how many years they've started off consecutively 0-2.
But the Giants, their season never starts. That's the problem.
Yeah, they just man. So on to a team that is definitely doing the right things, and a team that's I told you wasn't gonna be shit. The LA Rams versus the Colts. The Rams taking it home 27-24, and the Colts losing Mr. Glass.
Yeah,
This
but
motherfucker.
it
How do you sprain both your ankles in the same fucking game?
the thing was the same play.
Yeah. How do you sprain both your ankles? I've never heard that shit in my life.
Got rolled on, man.
It reminded when I because I didn't see that game.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't see that part happen. I saw parts of the game, but I didn't see that part happen. When they were like he sprained both his ankles, I was like, I flashed back to those videos of like the models on the runway and the heels are too tall. And it's like, is that what the fuck happened? So how do you sprain both your ankles? What is you doing? And why is he always hurt? This is what I was telling you. I'm like, he's always hurt. Dude is unreliable. He's only played two full seasons since he's been drafted.
To be fair, though, they should have won that game. The Rams had to come from behind. And they did, which has me thinking that defense is right. This is not the same Rams defense of the past
They've
few
looked
seasons.
vulnerable.
Yeah,
They've looked very vulnerable the last 2 weeks, except for Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, I mean, he's missed a shutting down, but once again, they give up over 100 yards rushing.
Yeah,
and that's Aaron Donald territory.
Yeah, that's a problem.
That was their thing. Like, you can do a lot of things. You're not running up you're not going to run the ball. But even though they're 2-0, I see some chinks in the armor.
Yeah,
and that's scary this early in the season.
I wouldn't put too much stock in it. Like, again, I just think it's the growing pains. I think that they'll get their groove, they'll get into their rhythm. Things will start clicking for that team. I think it's good that they got out to the start they got out to. Like, getting out 2-0 was huge for them.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially in that NFC West. Like, that's huge for them. Because, I mean, even if you look up and down the NFC West, it's like 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 1-1.
Absolutely.
And the 1-1 is the Seahawks.
Right.
That's scary. Like, you can't afford to lose games.
Who should have won.
Who should have won. Like, so realistically, you should have been in a division where everybody's 2-0. And it's like you need every single win that you can get. And so even coming back and beating the Colts, like, that's huge. And I think that that'll help them. I think they're a good enough team to still finish exactly where we both, predicted that they will.
Right.
I wasn't taking too much away. But again, the Colts, I just think, are in a bad way.
Yeah.
They're 0-2. your quarterback is a joke as far as like health goes. Like if this was Madden, his injuries on like 0, like
it's actually 80
or whatever. However it would work, however the slider would work. It's like, yo, if you breathe on this dude too hard, because again, like we saw this in the preseason. Oh, he stepped back and like cracked his foot. You what? Why are you playing football, bro? Go bowl or go bowl. Shoot pool or something. Like, you shouldn't throw darts. Nah, because you might poke yourself in the hand with the dart.
Right. But,
moving on to the next team, we got the Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo
thoroughly,
Soldiers.
totally, completely embarrassing another franchise and a division rival,
eliminating
and a comeback.
Another
Mr. Glass. 35-0 over the Miami Dolphins and took out Tua, and that hit was hard.
Yeah.
Oh, he got lit up.
Yeah.
That wasn't even like the Carson Wentz thing where he got rolled around or whatever. It was,
no, he got hit.
Oh, like
because
Tua needs to holler at his right guard. Like that was all you, bro.
Right. That's because again, you can play the Miami Dolphins a little bit different because Tua is the only left-handed quarterback in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So you normally your best pass blocking tackle is on the left.
Mm-hmm.
Not for him.
Yep.
So teams are stacking up the left side of the defense, which is Tua's right. And yeah, because that hit was blindside, and he did not see it coming.
No, not at all. And so that one I don't really put on him. I mean, obviously he has the history of injuries, but that was like, you got lit the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like that was,
welcome to the NFL.
Yeah, that was like, that probably would have sidelined a few quarterbacks in the league. Period. A few players in the league. Yeah, like that, they might be out for a few games.
But what are your thoughts as far as the Bills concerned? Because you come out and you lay the egg against Pittsburgh, and you come back the next week, open division game on the road against a tough opponent. Miami's a more defensive. They're carried by their defense, which is actually very solid.
Mm-hmm.
They laid 35 on them.
See, for me, the 35 though is not impressive from the Bills. It is and it isn't. It's. I liked what the Bills came out and did, like coming out and making a statement. Like it felt like a statement game.
It did.
Like, oh, y'all think that we're not going to be good this year because we had a bad week 1. This is a division rival. This is a team that is supposed to be in the playoff hunt this year. We gonna fuck them up, and they did that on defense because it wasn't even like their offense was impressive. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was like
they show more balance than they normally do.
Yeah, I mean your top wide receiver at 60 yards. Your quarterback throws for 170.
Right.
The other quarterback throws for 170. Like,
but they ran for 143.
Yeah.
So again, and because of that, your third down percent 7-13 on third downs,
and shutting down the Miami offense, which is what I'm saying. It's like it looked like the Bills team that we were expecting to see this season. It just came a week late. But as far as how I look at them, they're exactly where they should be. Last week was a bad one. As we said, everybody does the overreactions and shit. Let's overreact to the Bills. I think that they're right. I even said it last week. I'm like, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like, they just had a bad game.
Yeah, surprises come, especially when you play a team that's permanently good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they didn't play the Lions. I gotta stop making fun of the Lions, but it's so easy.
They're so garbage. Like,
the bye week.
And so now onto our game of the bye week.
The Detroit bye week.
Onto our personal, between me and you, game of the week. Your Patriots and Bill Belichick versus
a rookie quarterback.
God damn it. Fuck you.
You okay?
Fuck you. Zach Wilson, baby, what are you doing to me?
Jets.
I was hyping you all off season.
Do the Jets have buyer's remorse?
Oh my God, I do. I feel so stupid. And I know it's only 2 games in, and this might be an overreaction. And I hope I can come back and be like, oh, why did I doubt myself? Why did I doubt my Zach Wilson? But oh my God, it looks so bad.
Yeah, it's not looking like that's going to be an option.
It's not even like the Trevor Lawrence shit where he's just throwing a bunch of picks. He's just not even completing the ball to anybody. Started the other game 1 for 6. Started this game like 0 for 7, bro.
Yeah, I think he started like 0 for 6 with 4 interceptions.
Like, you know where to throw the fucking ball? Come on, man. It's just like college. It's just a little bit quicker. Come on, man. You look like someone took him out of like Smith's No, somebody saw that motherfucker at the fashion show mall working at Abercrombie. They were like, nah, man.
No,
We got a spot for you in New York.
No, exactly.
He's out there just like, what do I do? Where do I go?
This is exactly what Zach Wilson is playing like. Zach Wilson is playing like when you play the demo mode of Madden. And then you buy the game and you put it on all Madden and start playing.
Yep.
The preseason was the demo mode. Yeah. He's like, oh yeah, I can do
nice.
something. And then he bought the game, and boy, it got real quick.
So I mean, we can go through the beating. So no, we have to, because you were right, man. I mean, Bill Belichick doesn't lose to rookie quarterbacks. I still don't think it changes anything as far as where the Patriots will finish this year. But that's a hell of a good start.
Yeah, this game, and again, remember, they're getting they had 9 starters on defense opt out because of COVID last year. Mm-hmm. That's missed. And you see what those guys are doing back in it. Like last week, you hold the Dolphins to 17. Mm-hmm. And basically,
16, shut out 16. Because they won 17-16. So, yeah, you hold them to a weird number like 16.
Yeah. No, Dolphins won the game. Dolphins won 17-16.
Fuck, you're right. My bad. Oop.
And you basically shut out the Jets, which you do what you're supposed to do to a rookie quarterback while starting a rookie quarterback yourself. Mm-hmm. So, again, I just think defense. I think the defense is going to carry the team, and Mac Jones is just going to kind of be that guy that your game management. He's going to Teddy Bridgewater it. Mm-hmm. So it's looking like they'll be able to do that for the foreseeable future.
I still think the Patriots are gonna. This was one of the 5 games I saw them winning this season, so I'm not surprised by this game. It's one of the 5 I saw them winning. They have 4 more. Well,
they played Jets again,
so that'll be number 2. Actually, I think they might lose that one. I don't remember. Anyway, moving on to what was actually a surprisingly closer game than I thought it would be. Chicago versus Cincinnati. Yeah, in Chicago. Came out 20-17. Yeah.
The Bengals literally threw this game away.
Yep. So go ahead, take it off.
Joe Burrow had 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
Take away those turnovers, they probably win the game closely. But Chicago Bears fans did get what they want. They got something they wanted. Andy Dalton went down with an injury, and we got to see Justin Fields in some game action.
So what do you think about them saying that even as of right now, they'd still go with Andy Dalton if he was healthy? After seeing what you saw from Justin Fields and Chicago fans finally getting to see him on the field.
Just from a standpoint of consistency, I like it. Like, Matt Nagy's sticking to his guns. So basically, if he's available, he's going to play. He's going to start. So from that standpoint, I get it. And I respect it. But just put the kid in. Like, from the jump, from week 1, just put the kid in. Like,
yes. If Andy Dalton should have been his backup. Like, in my opinion, that's what you should have done. You should have, if you're going to go out and get Justin Fields, get Andy Dalton as a backup.
Right. And it's
a mentor. Like, because Andy Dalton ain't going to do shit with that team. He hasn't done shit with any fucking team he's ever had.
And it's one of the things that I hate when coaches commit too early. And it's like, we did the exact same thing. Baker Mayfield's rookie year, we signed Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor understood we were drafting a quarterback, and he was basically going to be the bridge to that next year. But Hugh Jackson basically guaranteed him the starting job. It's like, no, you're drafting a quarterback in the first round. And with us, Justin Fields was drafted mid-first round. Baker was he's the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
Let him compete. And had you done that, you would have understood Baker was the better player from week 1. Because that didn't happen, we started the season 0-1-1. So we tied our first game and we lost to the Saints. Week 3 comes around, Tyrod gets hurt. Tyrod gets hurt against the Jets, down 14-0. This is what I hate about football. There was a stat last week that number one overall pick as a QB hasn't won a game since Derek Carr.
Yeah.
To be fair, Baker Mayfield literally won his first game. He came in for relief Tyrod, down 14-0. We won the game 21-14. He then started the next week and for the rest of the season and lost. But the same situation, like, dude, let him compete. If he's better in the preseason, if he shows you he's not ready in the preseason, okay, I'm going with him because X. Don't do it just because we guarantee this guy a job. Man, screw that. Like, let him compete.
Yeah.
These guys are you got money on the line, you got jobs on the line. Like, let them openly compete and choose.
What do you think about Joe Burrow for the Bengals? Because I agree with you. I couldn't agree with you more. I feel, again, like, I don't want to belabor the point. I felt like, excuse me, I felt like they should have started Justin Fields from jump.
Yeah.
And that's two parts for me. One, again, it's a first round quarterback, right. A high drafted first round quarterback. Because again, what was he like?
They moved up to 12, 11.
Yeah,
somewhere in there.
And he was the third quarterback, I think, taken off the board.
Was.
Fourth. Yeah, because he went after. He went before Mac Jones. Yeah, he went third. So
he was the fourth. Because you had Trevor, Trey, and Zach. So
fucking Trey Lance. I forgot about Trey Lance because he's not playing.
Right.
So yeah, it's like the top 5 guy coming out. He's gonna. Everybody's expecting him to play. You draft a quarterback that high. Right. It's like he needs to be in the game by like mid-season.
Yeah.
So and then you go and get Andy Dalton. So that's one part. You obviously know why you're drafting him. You're drafting what you're hoping is going to be a franchise quarterback. Then you go and get Andy Dalton, or you get Andy Dalton first. I don't care what order it's in. The dude sucks. Like
he's had his time.
He's had like he's one of those quarterbacks. I remember we were watching those mean tweets from Jimmy Kimmel. I love them shits. And one of them was about Ethan Hawke, and he was like, Ethan Hawke doesn't look like he should be a movie star. He just kind of showed up someday, and everybody was like, okay. Like that's Andy Dalton. Like he had one good year when the Bengals went to the playoffs all them years ago, and he's been riding that fucking coattail ever since. And it's like, I don't know why people keep signing Andy Dalton. It doesn't matter where he goes, he's not good. So if you bring him into Chicago and you go and get Justin Fields, who has generational talent, sit that redheaded dude on the bench and have him be a mentor.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, other side of the ball, Joe Burrow.
Especially when you also have, because they still have Nick Foles.
Yeah. So what'd you think about fucking Nick Foles? Forgot about that. What'd you think about Joe Burrow apparently forgetting what jersey his wide receivers were wearing?
I think
because he looked bad.
I think he's just, again, he's one of those guys who didn't play a lot in the preseason, and I think he's adjusting, like literally getting his legs back underneath him. He's coming off the torn ACL and getting used to that drop back and taking, moving around in the pocket. He's readjusting to playing football. I think you'll see a better Joe Burrow as the season goes on, but
going back to the dirt,
he's he's definitely gonna struggle.
I might be off camera if I lean that far out.
He's definitely gonna struggle, especially I think the next 2 to 3-ish games. You're gonna see a weird Joe Burrow, but later in the season you'll see him being back to himself.
So what do you think his self is? Like, you think week 1 is more of what Joe Burrow's all about?
I don't think that. I think that was just, again, week 1, everything's fresh. Like, anything can happen. It's taking hits, getting back. It's that routine. Week 1 was the first time he'd been hit in a while, or maybe since the injury.
Right.
Because obviously he didn't get hit in their OTAs. The whole team got fired. But, again, that game speed, he's just basically a rookie again. And seeing these different pass rushers, like when they play us, he'll see Myles Garrett has sacked him 4 times in 2 games. It's like, you're going to have to move differently, so you're going to have that trust in that knee. I think he's just reacclimating himself.
I take that as a fair point. I don't. Again, I'm still out on this season for Joe Burrow for the same reason. Last year, he looked fantastic until the injury.
Yeah.
And then again, week 1 he looked good. This past game he looked awful.
Yeah.
So agreeing with you, I think.
Remember the Bears do have a defense.
Oh, I know that, but it's still. you can't have 3 interceptions and
No.
miss, a dozen passes. Like, you can't do that. Like,
he's under duress, though. He got sacked 4 times.
Yeah, or that too, like getting sacked 4 times, like all of that stuff. So, again, I think that the Bengals are obviously a rebuilding team. I don't put a lot of emphasis on their wins or losses right now because I think that it's just their losses are just going to pile up for them. They're one of those teams. But again, it's a team to watch this year, as we were saying before, because it is going to be fun to watch Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and Joe Mixon and seeing those young guys start to get off.
Right.
But again, kind of whether, like, which way to go as far as, like, how the Bengals look to me, it's like they look like a team that's going to finish 4th in their division.
Yeah. But they didn't look like the old Bengals.
No, they look like a team that has hope. Like, they look like a team that could actually win some games. As I was saying before, like, they can win some
play
games.
Competitive football.
Yeah, even week 1 was a game that nobody thought that they were going to win.
Absolutely.
They shouldn't have won. So, yeah, I think that they're going to be one of those teams that does that often. To a team that's, to one of the polar fucking opposites in the NFL. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers beating the dog shit out of the Falcons.
Did they, though?
Yeah, 48-25 is an ass.
Did they, though?
48-25 is bad.
Again, I'm gonna this
5 touchdowns to Tom Terrific.
Yeah, but this is just and I want to highlight that statement you just made. But they had 2 pick sixes at the end of the game. Like, Matt Ryan kind of handled it. This was a game. This was a better game than it looked. They jumped out early, 14-0, and then the Falcons like started going off.
Oh, the Falcons thought they was going to get that 28-3 back? No.
No. They started going.
Even if you did, it's the regular season. That
was not the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That would be the New England Patriots that did that. So I don't think that was in their head.
I'm talking about Tom Brady, man, and him trolling them before the game with the 3:28 on the clock.
Yeah, no, but
I know that he did it with New England.
The visual of the uniform is different.
But you looking at the only visual that anybody's ever looking at when they play against the Buccaneers or the Patriots is that number 12. It's the only visual that you have. So whatever he does to troll your ass before the game, you trying to get him back. But you don't give a fuck about nobody else on that team. Even I was telling you, I was reading saw a video of Rob Gronkowski being asked like how he preps for games, and he like how like what's his like film routine. He's like, I don't watch film. He's like, I just asked Tom Brady who's covering me. He's like, for what? I got 12. The fuck do I need to watch film for? He knows more about them than they do.
In this game. You take away the 2 pick sixes, you're talking about 31-25 with Atlanta with the ball. Like it was a better game than people were getting credit for the final score. But that's detracting from defense. Like don't we play both sides of the ball?
But so that's great defense. That's how you shut it down to get 2 pick sixes.
It was Matt Ryan mistakes. It was not great defense.
It's like we was talking about with chess.
It was
it's that he thought he had a guy, and nope,
it was
wrong.
Like 2 bad throws by Matt Ryan. But say was Tom Brady 5 touchdown passes.
Yep,
and you applaud that
because he didn't have 148; he had 260.
Exactly what I want to get to. Did you know his 5 touchdown passes totaled less yards than Jameis Winston's 5 touchdown passes?
You know that's because Jameis Winston, one of those was a 70-yard touchdown pass.
Tom Brady threw a pretty long touchdown too.
It wasn't as
long as Jameis's though. But no, this is
so even to that, like, non sequitur. It's like no, because again he had 148 yards and for the game, and half of that was on one play, which also counted for a touchdown.
But
which
for
means
the game,
for the other 70 yards. Like in those 4 touchdowns, like no, that means on average are what, like 15 yards, 16 yards?
Okay, but the touchdowns themselves, like Tom, you're literally jumping on Jameis's throat for doing the exact same thing Tom Brady did.
No, because Tom Brady leads drives. Tom Brady drives teams down the field. Tom Brady puts up over 250 yards.
Tom Brady doesn't have Alvin Kamara behind him. You're right. If Tom Brady had Alvin Kamara behind him, he wouldn't be driving.
If Tom Brady
would be driving.
If Tom Brady had Alvin Kamara on his team right now,
Alvin Kamara would be driving.
The Buccaneers would go 34-0. if they had Alvin Kamara on there. With that roster as it is, you put Alvin Kamara on that team, yeah, the Buccaneers would go 34-0. They'd win so many games so badly that it would count double.
No,
because they'd be beating teams like 85 to -2.
This is my thing. This is like
they're gonna get
this is what gets me.
Away from you.
This is what gets me, and most people will say that like I'm a hater. It's like no, the great players do extraordinary things. Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about the extraordinary things they do. Tom Brady has done extraordinary things in his career. He's been playing since Jesus was alive. However,
everybody that just got drafted,
like it's the normal stuff that everybody else does as well. That it's like, nah, bro, you don't get extra credit for that, or this guy shouldn't get deemed for that. Like they literally had the exact same performance, but Brady
did not literally
so much. Yes, he did.
No, they didn't.
He had more yards in the same thing. Tom Brady threw 5 touchdowns, 4 in the red zone, 1 bomb. Jameis Winston threw 5 touchdowns, 4 in the red zone, and 1 bomb. How did they not?
I'm
not talking about the rest of the game because the thing everybody will highlight would be 5 touchdowns.
No, because it's like, okay, so you're trying to put two things that are not equivalent on the same scale. And it's like, oh, one guy had 5 touchdowns, the other guy had 5 touchdowns. It's like, okay, if I have like Kyler Murray, I throw for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns.
But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the literal 5 plays themselves. I'm not talking about the rest of the game because it's like you said. It's just like you said when after that game, you're like, you came in and you're like, what was the headline that they gave Jameis? Jameis goes off erupts, right? And you're like, no, because his touchdowns were this, and that. Tom Brady would get the exact same headline, and when you look at it, like, no, his touchdowns were exactly what Jameis's touchdowns were. He didn't erupt.
I'm looking at it right now, man. I'm trying to
the length of all their touchdowns.
No, I don't even know the length. I just want to see the difference in total yardage.
I'm not talking total yardage. I'm talking touchdown plays.
That's part of managing a game. That's part of moving teams down the field. The same thing Tom Brady does, where he can have short passes. As I said, he drives people.
Right, but the caption is the touchdowns. Jameis Winston that's what I'm talking about.
Had 20 pass attempts, right? 20 total pass attempts. Let's get to. Oh goddamn! Why did this go to week 1? I think I scrolled up too high.
He had 36 this game.
So he had 36, right?
But so what? I'm talking about 5.
Hold on a second. I'm getting it.
The headline isn't going to be Tom Brady threw 36 passes. It's going to be 5 touchdowns, and that's what I'm talking about. Like he'll get this exorbitant amount of credit.
It's not exorbitant.
It is.
207.
You're hyping him up. Tom went off for 5 touchdowns.
I was slightly dyslexic.
Jameis's 5 touchdowns was trash.
I was slightly dyslexic.
The exact same.
I said he had 267. He had 276. That's 130. That's 130 yards more than what Jameis Winston did.
But on touchdown passes,
that's a whole nother game.
I'm talking about the touchdown passes, though.
All right. So moving on, because we're at a dead end with this. Like you're not going to convince me in any way, shape, or form that Jameis Winston's performance is on par with what Tom Brady did this week.
I'm saying that it is. This is
you're
5 for 5 touchdowns.
It's nonsense.
His touchdowns were more.
It's complete nonsense.
It's not. His longest touchdown pass was longer than Brady's.
One dude set a fucking historical record. Like the first quarterback since 1949
for the
to have
total
5 touchdowns
the total game,
and less than 150 yards.
Right. But that's the total game. But I mean the 5 touchdowns themselves. I'm talking about the significance of the 5 touchdowns.
Yeah. So in the Vikings-Cardinals game.
This guy can never answer a question. You'll get used to it.
Because I'm not going to answer your question the way you want me to. I'm not going to answer your question the way you want me to. Because it's nonsense. So we talking about we talking about no, I already did because no, they're not on the same level. Not at all. Like they're just not. They're just factually not. Like even if you just take that 130, that means that Tom Brady threw completed almost twice as many yards. Anyway, moving on, Vikings Cardinals.
If I compliment your shirt, am I talking about your pants? Can your shirt be nice and your pants be ugly?
Yeah.
Okay, then why do you keep, if I'm talking about this thing, why do you keep referencing that? I'm talking about 5 passes. You're talking about 35 passes.
Mm-hmm. Vikings, Cardinals.
Again, can't answer the question.
It wasn't a question. That wasn't a question. That was just an ending statement.
You can't compartmentalize.
That's why there was a pause. There wasn't even a question.
You
just
cannot
finished a statement.
Compartmentalize.
And I said, okay. Vikings, Cardinals. Let's get it going. God damn it. One team is 2-0 out of nowhere, the Arizona Cardinals, and they shouldn't be. Why shouldn't they be, Bobby? Tell the people why the Arizona Cardinals do not deserve to be 2-0 right now.
It's Minnesota Vikings handed them a game.
Yep.
In more ways than one. Dalvin Cook with an unfortunate late turnover. Even with all of that, came down to the field goal kicker basically missing an extra point.
What is with Viking kickers, man?
Right. And this is 2 weeks in a row.
It's like Vikings and the Bears. Y'all motherfuckers just can't kick in the NFC North.
Yeah. I mean, 2 weeks in a row, the Vikings are basically 2 field goals away from being 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's super,
sick.
Yeah.
It's sickening.
Super. And
because again, even of the probability stats we talked about earlier, the difference between starting off 2-0 and 0-2 in the NFL is like your season's done or your season has potential. And
especially, it's like you can't, like Kirk Cousins, again, he's an average NFL quarterback. Mm-hmm. You can say slightly above average, but he's not terrible. You cannot waste this performance. 22, 32, 244, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. You cannot waste that performance. Mm-hmm. Dalvin Cook, 22 carries, $131. Like, when you're the 2 guys you need to perform like that. I think every star receiver caught a touchdown. Justin Jefferson caught a touchdown. Thielen caught a touchdown. The rookie caught a touchdown. Like, you can't waste that performance. You got to get that W. Yeah. Like, and I might have fought the kicker in the locker room.
I definitely would have. Oh, those are facts, man. If I was on that roster and you missed that kick, like, I'm fucking you up.
Yeah, this is compared to Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, but he had 2 interceptions. Like, everything you needed to do to win the game, you did, and you didn't.
And you're on the road.
Exactly.
And it's an in-conference game.
2-0 on the road.
Yeah.
And, oh my God. Like,
but that's the thing. You gotta handle your business. You gotta take care of it. I mean, to the Cardinals, again, this is that age-old question. You know, did one team win it? Did the other team lose it? Nah.
The Vikings literally lost.
The fucking Vikings, the Vikings lost the game. The Cardinals should not have won that game.
Nah.
It is impressive that Kyler Murray had 400 yards. I can tell you this right now. The overreaction that people always, we joke about it all the time. Like, let's overreact to something. The one that's already pissing me off, that, like, I heard it this morning, and I wanted to punch a hole in the TV. And I was like, I heard some dude on there trying to argue that he believes Kyler Murray is the clear-cut front runner for MVP after 2 games.
And I get it. I don't think
First of all, don't call, and I'm not saying this about Kyler Murray, don't say anybody is the fucking front runner, clear cut MVP after 2 games. What is 2 games?
It has to.
Unless you're only playing 5, then the first 2 games are important.
The race has to start somewhere.
Yeah, it needs to start after like at least maybe the quarter way, like the 6 games, maybe 8 games before we start talking about MVP. Let's get a body of work. It's 2 fucking games.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? Even as what we were just talking about.
Up in the hype.
Even what we were just talking about with Joe Burrow. A couple of games ago. Yeah. Week 1 looks fantastic. Week 2 looks terrible. But is Joe Burrow washed it? No, he had 1 good game, 1 bad one. This dude had 2 like good games. Yeah. Good shit for him. Why is Tom Brady not the front runner on a 2-0 team where he's leading the league with 9 touchdown passes, only 2 picks? And mind you, because you know this, since he threw his second week, he's going like 7-0. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's second in the yards. Like, but you want to talk about Kyler Murray?
5 touchdowns were just like James's.
This fucking guy. Oh my God.
But Kyler didn't really look that great to me. Like,
he doesn't look good to me. I'm not impressed by him.
People are attracted. It's the scrambles. It's cool for Instagram and YouTube and Twitter. But he really should. He cost them what should have been 2 games. I mean, granted, they came out and smacked Tennessee. It was nobody saw coming, but this, like, he made some good plays, but he really should have cost them the game. And again, you're just 3-4 feet away from them being 1-1, and us talking about the Vikings again,
right?
And how they can compete for a playoff
spot. That defense,
yeah.
I mean, even though you give up 400 passing yards, I don't know how we can say about your fucking defense.
I mean, but and that like you can't.
You can't give that up. You can't give up that many yards. No.
Nah, but it's like, what can you do? You got this little dude that nobody can see running around and just creating more time for receivers to get open. Like, I'm sorry, like Jalen Ramsey can't cover anybody that long. You give him.
I think that
3-4 seconds.
I think he'd say challenge accepted.
He would accept it.
I wouldn't take that bet.
He would also get smoked.
I'll tell you right now. After watching him week 1, because that was the game I really got to watch him. I'm not taking that fucking bet.
Yeah, no. I'm sorry.
I was watching.
Jalen Ramsey.
He was on like, dude. It felt like he was on every play last week.
Yeah, it did.
Like, it was like every tackle. It was like number 5, Jalen Ramsey. I'm like, dude, how are you? Are you playing safety, linebacker, DN, nose tackle? What are you doing?
Yeah, but even
everywhere.
Jalen Ramsey cannot cover D Hop for 8 seconds, and that's what Kyler's giving these receivers.
Yeah.
Like.
So, do you think before we move on to the next game, still got 4 more to cover? Do you think that the Arizona Cardinals do you think that they'll be able to get better, or do you think that they've just gotten lucky 2 weeks in a row? Or
I'm not gonna say week 1 they won.
Yeah,
they won that game. This week they just got fortunate.
Yeah,
and granted, everybody does.
So you don't think that this is like a measuring stick for them? Are you still? Is Jerry still out on you, or you still think that they're right around where you think they should be?
I got to say right around, because again, look at who you beat, and this is that NFC bubble.
Yeah,
like you got teams like Arizona, Minnesota, potentially the Bears. Kind of competing for that 5, 6, 7. I'll wait to see them against the Rams, Seahawks. I don't think they play Tampa this year. They might play Green Bay. I can't remember the divisional matchups. Oh no, they played Minnesota, so they might play Green Bay.
Yeah.
Let me see you against potential playoff teams.
And then
come talk to me week 9, 10.
Fair enough. I can respect that. So, and what was probably the shock game of the week, like the game that the game that should have been over and wasn't. Ended in a wild way. The Tennessee Titans pulling out a dub on the road in OT against the Seattle Seahawks, 33-30. And obviously, my man of the week, my next man up of the week, Derrick Henry, going bonkers in that second half. Yeah, man, that boy is
Julio
a problem. Julio,
welcome to Tennessee.
Julio, bro.
There was some rumors that he kind of got pissed off after week 1 and not being targeted. I guess that pep talk kind of worked.
Yeah, he's like, y'all brought me here for a reason. Throw me the fucking ball. Same thing with Derrick Henry. He's like, you know why I'm here, Marshall. You know what? Give me the ball. And what happens? Good things happen. You put the ball in 22's hands 40 times, 41 times. You get a dub.
Yeah,
that needs to be the game plan. He's a workhorse. He's a big dude. He can take it.
Start calling them the Jay-Z connection.
The Jay-Z connection. Why is that?
22 twos.
No.
Henry's 22, Julio's 2. Yeah, 22 twos.
This fucking guy. I'm too happy for shit. So that's a big takeaways. This is a huge game. What do you think? What are the implications of this game?
The implications of this game is Jamal Adams needs to get them boys on defense. They need to they shouldn't have lost this game. They were Seattle Seahawks were 52-0 when leading by 15 plus points at home. Now 52-1. That is insane. That is ridiculous. Like that's almost like you're pretty much the Mariano Rivera of football. If we get you here, you're done.
Yeah.
And just to let them come in the way they did it, like Cowboys, take note, they didn't give up on Derrick Henry. Like, what do you have? 35 carries.
35 carries, 6 receptions.
Feed that man.
180 something yards, 3 touchdowns,
right.
55
over 200
yards.
total yards.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Feed that boy. It's
exactly.
big enough. You need it. So who do you think this game was better for or worse for? Like, do you think that this is a worse game for the Seahawks, that like a bad loss, or do you think this is a great win for the Titans? Or do you think it's both?
No, definitely a worse game for the Seahawks because they have one of, if not the best, home field advantage in football. Mm-hmm. So you take a home loss,
and it's an opener home loss,
right? Home opener, which now puts you
1-1.
Right. So you're a game behind two teams in your division.
All three,
or three.
It
puts you to the point where now you have there are three games on your schedule you absolutely cannot lose.
Yeah.
At minimum, there are 3 games you can't lose, and that being the division games. This is all around bad. With Tennessee, if they take this loss, you're still in great shape in your division because you got Houston. Even though Houston's coming out, but they're still
Houston's 1-1.
Right, Jacksonville
0-2,
and the Colts. Right,
so even if you were 0-2, you're 1 game out of leading the division.
Right.
And you're going to pick up those wins back against them. So,
exactly.
Yeah, so you think it was a bigger loss, like a bigger deal that it was a loss for the Seahawks.
Absolutely.
And a win for the Titans.
And in the fashion, when you give up leads,
like
I see Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
When you give up leads, that can be something that's difficult to recover from because in your next game, if you get up and the other team makes a play, it's easy to get into that, here we go again, mindset. And then it just trickle down and mess up the rest of your season. So
and think about the end of the season too, because that could fuck with you. Then is that like, yo, what if it's coming down to where we're 1 game outside the playoffs and we fucking shouldn't be?
Right.
Like, God, we should not be 1 game outside. Well, we have to win every game down the stretch, and it's like you wouldn't have to.
The only fortunate thing
lost week 2.
Yeah, the only fortunate thing to come out of this game for Seattle is they have not played a conference game yet. Both of their games are against the AFC, so they're still 0-0 against conference.
Okay.
So
the surprise, I wouldn't say surprise game for me, but I was disappointed. Cowboys versus Chargers.
You were just, how about them Cowboys
pulling it out at the end over the Chargers? LA obviously at home.
I think they watched the show. I think Mike McCarthy watches us. I think he tunes in.
I hope so.
What did I say? Keep running the ball. They ran the ball.
Yeah.
It is exactly what I said they needed to do to win. Mm-hmm. And they won.
That's why we hear people. That's why we hear people. We call them.
But and surprisingly, it wasn't Zeke. Like it was. I told you I was torn between next man up of the week. Mm. I was torn between Sam Darnold and Tony Pollard. Okay. Tony Pollard is nice.
Yeah.
Like he's and probably I'd give him top 2 or 3 backup running backs in the league. But yesterday or Sunday he played like a starter.
Yeah.
Like I think he had more yards than Zeke.
I'm not 100% sure on that off the top of my head, but
yeah. He had 109. Zeke had 71.
Yeah, but that's what you're talking about. That's a good rushing attack. 180 yards just even between those 2 guys means you easily climb up over 200 for the game. That's what you need to do as Dallas. Like like to your point, you have a guy like Zeke. Learn from the Titans, motherfuckers. Like if you have a Zeke or you have a Henry,
right,
or you have a Nick Chubb, you run the fucking ball. Yeah. You run it. You was that? You pick this ball up, Petey. You run every last one of them. You just run it. That's all you do. You run the ball. You run it. And so, like, you have Dak, and I know you want to air it out to Amari Cooper, and that's cute.
Yeah.
You have Zeke and Tony Pollard run the ball.
Yeah.
And one of the best offensive lines in the league run the ball.
Yeah, nobody complains about winning.
Yeah.
Don't matter how you win. Yeah. But would let you start losing. And the Cowboys have an error stat of their own since Dak has been starting. I think this win makes them 26-5 overall when they run the ball more than pass it.
There you go.
Like when they have more rushing attempts than passing attempts.
Proof is in the pudding.
26-5.
Yeah, proof is in the pudding. Oh, and so one of those other weird stats for you. Someone could fact check me on this, but it happened week 1. I was counting it because you talked about you don't like when quarterbacks throw for over 50 attempts. Because that was what happened in the opening night in Tampa Bay. And from that week 1, because I remember counting it because it was fresh in my head, and I meant to bring it up on one of the last couple episodes, but I kept spacing it. You know that there were 5 quarterbacks that all had at least 50 pass attempts in week 1, and all 5 lost.
I'll show you.
So I thought it was like one of them it was one of those crazy stats that you hear from somebody and then you fucking see it actually happen.
Yeah.
Like just play out. Like it wasn't just one dude. It was like there was
right
5 quarterbacks on different teams and different games that had 50
nice
plus
sample size.
It was 0 for 5. I was like, golly, that's all bad. For the Chargers, I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
This is a game I definitely thought that they should have won, that they needed to win. It is helpful. Again, it's not in conference, but it is at home.
Yeah.
That's a game that you need to pick up. Especially, I'm thinking about that more so than for like the record purpose. I'm talking about your fucking fans. People are still not turning out for the LA Chargers. So I'm like, you need to be winning home games because that's the only way you get people to come to your games is if you're fucking winning.
Facts.
And especially in LA where they have the Rams who just a couple of years ago were in the Super Bowl. It's like the LA Clippers, LA Lakers effect. You can't have one team that's successful and then you're not, especially at home. Suck on the road. But you better win at home. Like even the Seahawks, how they got to the point where they're at now was that shit. They even if they had like 500 records for the season, you know what they were? 7-1 at home.
Exactly.
8-0 at home. Yeah, we can't win at all outside this building, but you know what? You ain't winning at all in this motherfucker. So.
But weirdly,
and if we get a couple plays right here and there as they started to over the years, oh shit, we go from 8-8 to 10-6.
Right.
Ooh, now we're 12-4. Ooh shit, now we won a fucking Super Bowl. It's like LA Chargers, you got to do that same thing. You got to be like, yo, we're protecting home. Yeah. We got to protect SoFi because we got to get people that are Chargers fans in the building, caring about the games, losing the game to the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like an even noise kill in that whole game. Watching that game is weird.
So it's just like they got, for me, that's why I'm like, this is a bad loss. Yeah. Like you need to, if for nothing else, LA Chargers, just win at home. Except for when the playoffs, you can fuck off. But
two super weird stats. I'm going to give you 2 super weird stats.
I love it. Hit me.
As you were talking about them needing to win at home. Mm-hmm. The Cowboys actually have the opposite effect. They have a terrible record in Jerry's world. In fact, one year, a few seasons ago, they went 8-8. 0-8 at home, 8-0 on the road.
It's terrible.
But it's
terrible. That's
another weird stat, even weirder.
Spent all that money on
what score of this game?
2017.
2017, Cowboys win. Mm. The home opener with fans for the Chargers. Mm. First team to actually play in SoFi Stadium was the Rams.
2-1.
Who beat who?
Fuck, I don't know.
The Cowboys.
Yeah.
Know what the score was?
2017.
Come back a year later, they opened the stadium up last year, and they opened it up for the opposite team, but they pull it out in the same style. That played out super weird.
Yeah. So on to the game that I'm happy about. I'm not happy. I'm happy about it and not happy about it for a couple of reasons. Super excited that the Chiefs lost to the Ravens in this next matchup, 35-36. Super excited for that because again, being an AFC West. As a Broncos fan, I need them to lose any fucking game that they lose is a win for me. So I got 2 dubs on Sunday. The Broncos won and the Chiefs lost. We're technically leading the division right now. I have to say that shit now because I don't know the next fucking time I'll get to say it. We're leading the division.
Who did they actually put in front though? I think they put the Raiders over y'all. It's some kind of weird. They just go, nah, it doesn't matter. It's because they have 2 conference wins. So they're technically ahead of you.
Yeah, so, but, well, fuck. You just have to, even as I'm trying.
I gotta keep it real with you, man.
Yeah, I know. God damn.
I could let you dream, but.
Anyway, back to the fucking Chiefs, because it's gonna make me mad that the Raiders are technically ahead of us right now. It's just kind of piling on to this fucking episode about them. I know Jimmy's just fucking loving this shit. Like he was saying him by name, because he's like one of the most diehard Raiders fans I've ever known in my life, and he was just like salivating every time I'm wrong about them. It's been like that our whole lives. So the fucking Chiefs losing the game is huge, obviously, for the AFC West. And that the loss was
the AFC
conference.
Period.
Yeah, it was in conference. What do you do? Again, this is another case of did the Ravens win the game or did the Chiefs lose it?
The Chiefs lost. The Chiefs lost this game.
So you're putting the blame on them.
Yeah. Dude, Lamar Jackson's first throw was a pick six to the Honey Badger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, shout out Honey Badger. Getting 2 picks.
Honey Badger's second play of the season is a pick six.
Because they didn't even know he was going to play until before the game. And it's like, what up? As we were saying, you know that's my guy. That's your guy. Like, Honey Badger don't give a shit.
Like
Honey Badger don't give a shit. Coming off the bench,
right?
Get a pick.
And I'll give you. You can say Sammy Watkins fell down.
Yeah,
I'll give it that. But then Lamar turns the ball. It's like Edwards-Helaire, dude, just hold on to the ball. Mm-hmm. Just don't fumble, and KC wins the game. You give Lamar another chance, and basically, to me, Lamar Jackson, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, like, these are guys you don't give second chances.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson isn't the passer that these guys are, but he got 2 legs that work real good.
He got 2 legs, get him 107 yards.
Right. They work
6.7 per average. Like 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, you don't give this dude a second chance.
He will easily be the forever all-time leading quarterback rusher of all time. Like, it's not even going to be close by the time this boy's done. He's going to pass Vic this season.
Yeah, he will probably finish, I'm going to say, in the top 15 all time in rushing.
Just running.
Yeah.
So, you can't give him another chance. You can't be up, by 12 going into the fourth quarter and lose the game if you can't see it. You can't, and it's on the road. You can't do that.
Yeah.
For a Chiefs team that it was like they looked sketchy last week. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's like you guys are, and then you come out and it's because they barely beat you guys week 1.
Right. We had the turnover then. And
you have the turnover, the literal turnover at the end. So that's how you managed to barely beat the Browns again. The team I think is the best in the league behind the Bucs, and it's like. Or actually, no, ahead of the Bucs. So you barely beat the Browns, only win by 4. Then you turn around on the road and lose to the Ravens, and it's like both of those games, you gave up 29 and 36 points. That means you're averaging giving up 35 a game right now.
Yeah, their defense is 30
something a game right now. Like that's terrible.
Yeah,
that's so bad. 32 and a half a game. I'm sorry for my bad math.
I would have liked to see play out the other way for the opposite reasons as you. I would have loved to have had a 2-game lead on the Ravens in division. Potentially, if we beat them, and then we'll catch up to the Chiefs if we can. But now we're even with everybody, except you guys, the Raiders, a few other teams. But the teams that were expected to be like up here, like Chiefs are 1-1, Ravens are 1-1, Steelers are 1-1, we're 1-1, Titans are 1. Like every playoff team from last year is like 1-1.
Or fucking some of them are 0-2. It's like, what's going on?
Yeah. Like, so it's like that loss against it didn't hurt us at all. We're like all back to 0-0, and now it's just okay. Go play football.
15-game season,
right?
Yeah.
So, but this game was like so disappointing for me because it was a great game. I just didn't like that. If you say it's biased, if you're about to I just no, don't give that dude a second chance. And I had the same feeling in watching them convert that 4th down as I did watching the Chiefs convert 4th down against us. Like, we're not gonna stop them from getting a freaking yard. Why? Mm-hmm. Why even run down? Just let them run out the clock. Like, I know that Lamar Jackson is going to get a yard.
Yeah.
So it's like you gotta step up on D Chiefs.
I'm still not sold on the Ravens at all. Like,
I
know you know that about me.
That's
it's
fair.
Like, it's not hater. It's just that
it's
when I look at them, I'm like, you guys are a playoff team, but that's it. Like, and that's not what anybody has as their expectation for you. And I can't see with how their offensive scheme is currently constructed that being realistic. Because I mean, if you really are just going to turn to the option of like, Lamar Jackson is just going to be a running back. Like, cause it's either Lamar runs or he throws to Hollywood Brown. That's it.
Yeah.
Like,
no, Mark Andrews.
Well,
that's his favorite target.
Yeah, but it's just, I don't see it working. Again, they have that defense, but even that defense gave up 35. I know it's to the Chiefs, but still, like, and they gave up they lost obviously to the Raiders week 1. So it's like, I'm not sold on the Ravens being like where they're expecting themselves to be.
They're very close to being 0-2. They're very close to being 2-0.
And this is where I was like, I was saying, about the Ravens side of it. Obviously, I love that the Chiefs lost because that helps the Broncos. I don't know if the Ravens do though, because now instead of them being like downtrodden 0-2, because we play them after we play the Jets,
right?
And we play them at home. That's our home opener. No, our home opener is this week against the Jets, but then we go and play Baltimore,
right?
And I'm like, I really would have liked it if they were like 1-2. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they still definitely can be 1-2, but if it was like they were 0-2 and then okay, cool, they win next week, I'm like, all right, well, they're still kind of under the tide. They're still probably unsure about themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now it's like, we just beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, they're hyped.
Yeah, they were super hyped because they got the monkey off the back and they managed to do this against all odds.
And they got the bye week next week.
And I'm like, God damn it, because that's going to be our first real test. Like, are we going to be legitimate? Even if, like you said, with the Chiefs-Browns game, I don't give a fuck if we lose. I want to see how we look.
Right.
Like I've already told you, I've chalked that up and probably the Pittsburgh game up to potentially being losses.
Right.
Fucking cool. Or the Browns game, not the Pittsburgh, but the Browns. I'm cool with it. I just want to see, are we competitive? Just like you with the Chiefs. I want to see how we measure up against
a team that's expected.
I just wanted them to be on like a fucking losing streak. Or just not even on a losing streak, but just not happy.
No, y'all are gonna get the entire Lamar Jackson experience.
And that's going. And we got questions about Bradley Chubb again. Oh, dude, I lost my motherfucking mind. Oh, I was watching it for a moment at the bar, and man, there were so many like the other fans in there, and I snapped, and I had so many people laughing because Bradley Chubb got hurt again. His first game back with Von Miller, and he didn't make it to halftime.
Well, I assume you're probably surrounded by Raiders fans.
Oh, my God, I was screaming. Thankfully, it was Niners. I was screaming at them. I'm like, dude, stop getting hurt. Same way I'm talking about Carson Wentz. Like, motherfucker, stay on the field. Every time. The most hyped, like, the most anticipated duo that literally everybody wants to see, rushing duo in the league, is Bradley Chubb and Von Miller. And they've shared a grand total of 6 fucking snaps together. Dude. Sorry for the rant. Damn it. And then again, we have the final game of the week,
the bye week.
The Lions Packers. Look, I don't really know what you guys want us to say on this.
It was slightly more competitive than
it started off more impressive from Jared Goff than I expected. I still, as I keep saying, I'm gonna keep saying it. Aaron Rodgers is fucking phoning it in. I think that he's literally on that shit. Like, if we win, we win. If we don't, we don't. Like, I'm not going to give effort. We're just going to play. So, I mean, the Packers, congrats to them. You know, cheers. You beat a division rival, and you got to 1-1. You got your first win of the season. Again, you're still going to come out of your division, so I don't really know what we're saying here. Like, even if Aaron Rodgers phoned it in the whole fucking season. 4
touchdowns, Devontae out of the game.
You know what I'm saying? Even if Aaron Rodgers was just, you know, half-assing it all season, which I think he's going to, they're still going to win the division. So
you don't throw 4 touchdowns half-ass. Maybe against the Lions.
Aaron Rodgers does against the Lions. Aaron Rodgers can do a lot of amazing shit half-assed. Have you seen them State Farm commercials?
That's because he's passing the torch to Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, man. Anyway, so takeaways from the game, do you have any? I don't really have a lot. Again, the Lions are going to be...
I expected the Packers to win, and they won, and I expected Aaron Rodgers to look good, and he looked good. Actually, one thing does concern me, and it's their starts. Obviously, they started terrible last week.
And never recovered, and they started out the gate slow again this week.
Right. So,
and that's against 2 bad teams, the Saints and the Lions, and you starting off like that. Again, what happens when you go up against the top tier teams or the bigger name teams? So that's a bit of a concern. Obviously, we're keeping track of our picks. You know, as we told y'all, we keep y'all updated every episode.
Yeah, I was more writer this week.
He was more writer this week. I'm still more writer so far. This week I went 10-6. I got brutalized down the stretch.
I took a gamble though. I took 2 gambles that it almost worked out. Yeah, the Falcons fucking Matt Ryan 2 pick sixes in the fourth quarter. Give me a break.
Yeah, I got lucky that I stuck with my pick with Arizona and then missing that field goal. I got mad with, again, I had the Chargers winning over the Cowboys. Those are a couple of the ones that kind of pissed me off that didn't go the way I thought that they would. KC, Baltimore, again, that was like God damn it. I finished 10-6 this week. Bobby finished 11-5.
Them Giants, they also let me down.
Yeah. So through week 2, right now I'm 19-13, and you are 500 at 16-16. How you feeling about basically being even on the season so far?
I'm not even. I'm Mo Rider.
Because you're not Mo Rider.
I'm Mo Rider.
You 16-16. I'm 19-13. So, any final thoughts for the people? Because we got a preview. We obviously got the Carolina Panthers coming up Thursday night.
Yep,
Going up against the Texans. I know we talked about it, but anything you want people to look for in that game, or any reason why they should watch the game?
Because the playoff Panthers are legit.
Playoff Panthers.
Look for them to be 3-0. They should pull out the victory. I got a chance to see the quarterback that's going to be starting for Houston firsthand. Obviously, he played the remainder of the game against the Browns. He started out looking kind of shaky, but he didn't look shaken. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But Carolina's defense is a little bit different animal than ours. Our defense still coming together. Their unit's been together for a few years. They'll give them some different looks, some blitzes. I'm going to go with the Panthers. I'm going to say they pull it out, 30-21. 30-21 Panthers.
I'm going to go, let's keep it simple, 28-21. I think it'll be a one-score game. It'll be Carolina. I'm saying that because, again, the Texans, they've shown enough over the past 2 weeks to deserve some measure of they were a football team. I still don't think that they're a good one, but
defensively they're playing solid.
Yeah, they might be able to do some things. I would not be surprised if it ends up being a blowout runaway game for the Panthers. I think it'll be a one-score game, but if it ends up being lopsided, it wouldn't shock me. My quick takeaway. I wanted to give a shout out, so to speak, or big props to, again, Honey Badger coming in. Didn't know if he was going to play until right before the game, and then second play of the game, I get a pick 6. Later in the game, I get another interception. I'm back, motherfuckers. And I also wanted to give a quick one to my guy, the guy we drafted, Patrick Surtain, PS2, getting his first career interception on the craziest pick I've seen in a while. Not because it was him, but because I didn't think it was a fucking interception. I couldn't tell one way or the other if he got his foot down, because it was the whole angle of how he caught this thing is why we drafted him. How did you pull that off? But I swear, I'm hyped that they called it an INT. I couldn't have called it. You couldn't have asked me to. So quick shout out to him. Obviously, we'll be here on Friday with a new episode, and that's the big one for us. It's going to be episode 10, and it's also going to be
9.
Why do I keep saying that? God damn it. I think I just want to get to 10. I'm so excited to get to double digits. But it will be the 1 month mark. We appreciate y'all for being with us this long already. Hope that y'all will be here for a long time going forward. If you guys enjoyed the episode or any of the previous episodes, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you got your notifications on. That way, when the new videos drop, you get an automatically alert to your phone. You can tune in and see what we're talking about. And we appreciate y'all. It's been a good show. We'll see y'all in the next one. Again, it's going to be coming out this weekend. We'll have some predictions for week 3, who we think is going to do what. Cover all that. See y'all later. My name is Shaka. This is my guy, Bobby G. Let's get him out of here.
Peace.